Hi everyone! One of you gave me the idea for this video in which I will show you how I quickly transfer a score from a MIDI file into one of my orchestral templates. Curious? Then let's get started. Here we are. This is my template for SSO. I've already downloaded a MIDI file of a Beethoven symphony. You can find the credits in the description. But before we start, let's take a quick look at the preferences. I go to MIDI file, import options, and just take a look at the destination. I think the default value was Helion Sonic, but I changed it to MIDI tracks. After importing the MIDI file, I just want to get simple MIDI tracks without other instrument instances loaded. And now I can import my MIDI file. Just drag and drop at the bottom. Here we are. So, first of all, I select all MIDI parts, use my shortcut to glue them together. And now you can see in this symphony there are two separate horns, two separate horn parts. I just have prepared my template for one horn instance, so I just import new tracks from a project, select my SSO template, search for horn, and just select again my horns A2 long and short tracks. And now they are imported. And because I imported the tracks from my template, all settings are applied and the tracks are ready for use. So now I move the MIDI parts to the corresponding instrument tracks, once for long and once again for short. And I start with the contrabass, short, and duplicate it, cello, viola, just align it, violin 2, and duplicate, and violin 1, and duplicate. Just close the folder. Now I need the timpani. I just cut the part, go to my timpani. Here we are. Paste. Now let's move on to the trombones. I use the A2 patch and copy for the long. Then we go to the second horn. 1, 2, and now for the first horn. Okay. And now the woodwinds, the bassoon first. Clarinets. Oboe. And flutes. Okay. Now I can delete all the MIDI tracks. I don't need them anymore. And done. So after moving all the MIDI parts to the instrument tracks, I just select all the MIDI parts and because I defined my settings to select all the tracks automatically, I just can press my button to activate all the selected tracks. This will take a few seconds. And now all the instruments are loaded. To clean up, I just use the visibility agents to show just my active instrument tracks. So I hide all the other tracks. So it's looks already clearer. Great. I have now duplicated all the MIDI parts for each voice, and we have to deal with this, and I'm working on that right now. To extract the long and the short notes in the corresponding tracks, I just use some logical presets, and therefore I need my project Logical Editor. I open the Apply Project preset window, and I need the Logical Editor for the MIDI parts. Because I prepared some presets, and that you can see what I'm doing, I'm opening these windows. Usually I trigger these presets with shortcuts or with some buttons here. So, first of all, I use a preset of my project Logical Editor to show me just the tracks with a long in the track name. Done. Now I select all the MIDI parts, and I use a preset for the MIDI notes to delete all short notes, 8 notes or less. Apply. Done. Then I undo the visibility change to show all tracks. Then I use another project preset to show all short tracks. Done. I select the parts, and I've also a preset to delete the long notes. All above the 8 notes. Apply, and done. Okay. So now I've split the original MIDI parts into parts for long notes and short notes. By the way, if you would like to know how my preset works to delete long or short notes, here we are. This is the Logical Editor, and this is my preset to delete short notes, 8 notes or less. So type is equal note, length is less or equal 0.0.2.0, that means 8 notes, and then all events matching the filter conditions delete. Then save the preset and you are done. Alright, the MIDI data is split up in short and long tracks. For my own compositions, when I sketch first, I use the same method to split up the sketch parts into long and short tracks. And now let's have a look at the timpani and check the playable range. Okay, so to select all notes on G, just Control, click on the key and all notes are selected. Shortcut to move up an octave. Alright. Because I don't know how this piece was created, this MIDI file, let's have a look at the velocity. Here we have the shorts, and we can see this is always the same velocity. So it was not played in, maybe copied or drawn, whatever. So to give a little bit more of a human touch, I can use another logical preset. And here I have a preset to randomize the velocity, in my case between 70 and 80. Let's try it. And now the velocity is set. I can use this preset also to all the other short articulations, and here we see every note has the same velocity. Let's have a look at the brass. A little bit like forte, fortissimo. Okay, so I just apply it to all the shorts. Okay. Now let's have a listen if this is necessary for the longs as well, or I think the better way would be work along with the score to adjust the dynamic information in the mockup. Okay, sounds not too bad so far. But as I said, now Now it's necessary to go through each part to adjust the dynamic, to add expression dynamic, to change the articulation if needed for the shorts and for the longs. The expression maps are already prepared in my template. Fix some velocity peaks, maybe adjust the dynamics and finish up this piece. However, this would take too long for this video and it would be too boring to watch, so I'll skip it and finish for now. I hope this was helpful. You enjoyed it. It was interesting. Hope to see you again. Thanks for watching and bye bye.